All right, guys, this week's question is, if I buy, will my taxes change? Awesome question. We get it all the time. Stay tuned and we'll give you the answer.
You better get fired up.
Happy Friday, guys. Even better, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are out there just buying crap for your loved ones, hugging them, kissing them. Who knows what you're doing with them, but just have a blast with people and love everybody, man. It's a good day to just show a little appreciation for everybody around you. I think it's an awesome holiday to remind yourself of that excuse to just show some love. So love each other up. Hopefully a couple of you have gotten some love from me, man. I've tried to text or DM as many people as I can and just show a little love today, but what a fun day. My wife is actually sneaking out early today from work. We're going to go hit up the links, do a little mini golfing. She doesn't even like mini golfing, but that's how much she loves me. She'll do a round. So, and don't tell her, but I just got her a bunch of stuff too. So I think she's going to be surprised. I don't think she thought I was getting her anything. All right, let's get into the topic, right? This week's question is, if I buy, will my taxes change? So when you go to purchase a property, you're going to see on there, whether you're looking at the MLS sheet that your realtor gives you, or you're looking at Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, whatever, you're going to see the tax amount. Now, you might look at house A and house B and they're neighbors, and they're the same exact house, built the same year, same amenities, same lot size. Everything about them is the same. Condition inside is the same. And one, the taxes is $2,000, and on the other, it's $9,000. Now, number one, you're thinking, whoa, something's going on here. There's got to be a difference between the two homes, and there might not be. And the second thing is, a lot of buyers, I work with home buyers, are going to say, well, if this one's $2,000 and this one's $9,000 and they're the same, I'll just buy the one that's $2,000. That's the challenge. That's where I want to put a little time out on your thought process and make sure you understand exactly what's going on. No matter what kind of home you buy, and we're going to come back to new construction, the current taxes are literally what you'll pay until the end of that year. That's it. That is it. It's a magical number for 1 year. And then once the new year starts, you're getting a new bill. Okay. How is that bill going to be recalculated? Well, once you buy, they're going to see the price tag, and that's going to enter into their algorithm. And when I say they, I mean the appraiser's website, or I should say the appraiser's office. I'm looking at the appraiser's website. And they're going to say, okay, this home maybe was, let's just say a $400,000 home, but it was bought 20 years ago for $150,000, right? So when they bought, maybe the assessed value was $150,000, and now their their assessed value can only go up 3% a year if they're homestead. All right. And most of these are going to be homestead, not all of them. If not, then that number is probably much higher. That's probably the guy who had the $9,000 bill, right? So now, even though their property's worth $400,000, their assessed value might be $200,000, $225,000, something around there, right? So when they're getting taxed, because they've got those homestead caps, and that's a cool thing about Florida, they really reward you for owning a property, a homestead property, a primary property, for a long time in Florida. They want you to live here for a long time. And if you do it, they give you that nice, juicy reward of that 3% annual cap. Meaning if the assessed value goes up 2%, you go up 2%. If it goes up 4%, you go up 3%. If it goes up 12%, which in the last few years it's been doing, you go up 3% in assessed value. It's awesome. And then that assessed value is reduced by whatever your exemptions are, which if you're homestead, you're going to get $50,000. And then what's remaining is your taxable value. Okay. And we all get taxed the same, right? Whatever that taxable value is, it's called a millage rate, right? It's the amount you get charged per $1,000 is the same as everybody else's. But where people get different advantages is how long have they lived there? Have they homesteaded? Do they have other exemptions, right? So like I've got one, it's for $5,000. I don't even know what it's for. I think it has something to do with me being in the military. Oh, Marisol. Look at this amazing woman. If you don't know Marisol, she's incredible. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. You didn't text me. Well, guess what's coming right after this? You're going to get a text, lady. So now you've got your taxable value, right? So if I live in a house for 20 years and I bought it for $150,000 and now it's worth $400,000 and you're going to buy it from me, My 150 assessed value, because it's homestead, might have gone up to two and a quarter, right? $200,000, $225,000 minus my $55,000 in exemptions, right? Let's take two and a quarter minus, let's use 50 for easy. I'm at 150. No, I'm at 175. I'm going to be taxed at 175. Now, when you buy it, you're buying it for 400 grand. It's going to get assessed somewhere around 400 grand, probably the mid to upper threes. It's usually a hair less. So let's say 380. It gets assessed for 380. All right. Now what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, 380 minus your $50,000 exemption for being homestead. You're at 330. You're getting taxed on 330. I was getting taxed on 175. So your taxes are going to almost double. And that's a big jump. And not a lot of people understand that. So if a realtor is not explaining that to their buyer, if you're not asking those questions as a home buyer, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Also, if you don't homestead your property, you're getting rid of that $50,000 exemption. So off $380,000, 50 grand, let me pull out a trusty calculator here. 50 divided by 380, you're getting rid of 13% of your bill. Right? If I'm at 2 and a quarter because I've lived there forever, I'm getting rid of 50 grand divided by 2 and a quarter. I'm getting rid of 22% of my bill. So most people in this area's homes are worth 350 to 450, somewhere in that range. You're getting rid of 10, 15% of your bill on average if you can throw a homestead designation on there. You got to get it done, right? And you can do it for your primary residence, only one. If you own a home in New York and it's homestead, you're not going to be able to homestead it down here. You get one. Okay. So if you're buying new construction, that's a whole nother animal. A lot of times you'll see $500, $600 is their tax rate. And you're like, cha-ching, I don't get it, but man, it's a sweet deal. And then all of a sudden next year it's up to $8 grand and you're like $8,000. But what the assessor's office is looking at with that lot, they might have it valued at $100,000. And no, it's not homestead. And that builder or whoever is paying 100 grand. Well, they're paying taxes on $100,000 in assessed value. And now you buy it for, with the lot and everything, $500,000. And let's say you homestead it and you get your $50,000 exemption. That brings you down to $450,000. You're paying 4.5 times more in taxes because your assessed value is 4.5 times more. Does that make sense? So you've really got to be aware of all that. And you can go, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna share screen here for a second. Let me get over to the property assessor's office. I want to walk you through, and I'll tell you right now, I don't even know where to find this, but I'm going to show you how easy it is because I don't even know where it's at, and I guarantee I'll be able to find it here in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to, it's paslc.gov. You can see it in the top left up here, the URL, and that stands for Property Appraiser St. Lucie County. All right. So if I want to find the taxes on a particular property, man, I don't want to use anybody's particular property. How do I do this? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to quit sharing, but I'm going to walk you through how to do it because I don't want to bring anybody's address up here. I didn't think about that. Let me look at mine. Okay, so when I type in my address and I go to record card, then I can go to tax estimate /tools at the top. And right there, it gives me some ranges. It says estimated ranges of taxes, including non-ad valorem for the property without an exemption is $9,200 to $10,100. If I have a homestead exemption, it's $8,300 to $9,100. Okay. And where am I at? I honestly don't even know where I'm at. Let's look and see where I'm at. My taxes, ad valorem and non-ad valorem, are $78.23, so it's a little low. And I will say, in my opinion, that estimator tends to go a little high, which I think is a good thing. Because if you can swallow whatever that says as a home buyer, well, then you're going to be happy with what it actually is, right? But remember that assessed value is almost assuredly going to go up. Not 100% of the time, but probably 98% of the time. You've got to get your homestead exemption. Again, not only does it give you that $50,000 exemption, but it gives you that 3% annual cap on increases on your assessed value. That's huge. That is huge. That's why you've got people in this town with $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 tax bills. It's because they've owned in Florida for 15, 20, 25 years. And if you've lived in Florida for 20 years and you've got that cap that's been hitting you every single year, keeping that assessed value, in my example, you're going to buy my $400,000 home. I bought it for $150 20 years ago, and now my assessed value is only up to two and a quarter. I can take all those savings. It's called the Save Our Homes. I think it's Save Our Homes tax credit, and it's called porting. I can port it over to the next home that I buy, as long as it's in Florida and I homestead it. So now when I go buy a $500,000 home, because you bought my home for $400,000 and I'm moving up, all those savings that I had, I don't lose them. They don't go out the window. I still got them. Meaning it's valuable for me to stay in Florida. That's one of the cool things about Florida is if you're financially savvy, if you're paying attention, it all adds up and it promotes you staying here as a resident. We want to treat our long-term Floridians great. Not good, great. So guys, that is how taxes work when you purchase a property. Never compare the taxes of property A and property B. Which one's lower? Okay, the lower one is the one I'm going to put an offer in on as a home buyer. It does not matter. If those properties are similar in value, then the taxes, once you start paying them after the first of the year, are going to be very similar as well. All right. If this one's worth 10% more, but the taxes are 10% less, trust me, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. So just realize that math. And guys, this math is complex. I'm a nerd. I do this for a living. And I've met with Michelle Franklin 4 or 5 times on this show. I just had her on maybe 2-3 weeks ago. And every single time I learned something new. It's not easy. It's very complex. If you've got questions, if it's not making sense to you, ask your realtor. If your realtor is not giving you, that confidence that you want, send me a DM over Facebook. Text me, call me. You can find my phone number all over the web. And I am happy to not be your realtor and still walk you through these steps. I want to make sure that when that bill hits, you are mentally prepared for it. It's going to happen. I just want to make sure you're mentally and financially prepared for it. Guys, if you've got questions for future, you've got questions, I've got answers videos. We're here every single Friday, usually at 11. Today we had to move it to 11:30. But stop on by, bring me your questions, leave them in the comments or DM them to me, and we're happy to talk about them in the future. Guys, have a great Valentine's Day and an even better weekend. Take care.